Once upon a time, the church bells ruled every Sunday morning, their echoes rolling through quiet neighborhoods, marking the rhythm of American faith. But now, as the sun rises over the same towns, another sound begins to blend with the wind, the gentle call to prayer, the adhan, floating from newly built mosques, standing where churches once stood. It's subtle, silent even, but it's happening, a quiet transformation across America's spiritual landscape, a change that doesn't make the evening news, yet can be seen by anyone who looks close enough. Empty pews, shrinking congregations, and right beside them, growing communities of Muslims, young and old, immigrants and converts, finding faith where others lost it. They call it the silent shift, but it's more than just numbers. It's a reflection of hearts searching for meaning in a world drowning in noise, where many Americans are leaving organized religion behind, others are turning toward Islam, drawn by its discipline, its clarity, its sense of direction in a time of confusion, in a world of too many voices and too few truths. Walk through Detroit, through New York, through Houston, and you'll find stories written in stone and light, churches that once held weddings, baptisms, and choirs, now filled with lines of prayer rugs, Arabic calligraphy, and children memorizing verses from the Quran, words that have been unchanged for 1,400 years, carried now into the heart of the West. Some see it as loss, others as rebirth, but no matter how you interpret it, you can't deny the pattern: more churches closing every year, thousands sold or abandoned, while mosques are rising, doubling, even tripling in number, built not only by immigrants but by Americans who found peace in Islam, who left behind confusion and found purpose in submission to one God. Why is this happening, people ask? Why are so many drawn to Islam now, in a time when headlines still misrepresent it, when fear and misunderstanding cloud the truth? And the answer, for many, lies not in culture or race, but in something deeper: the search for structure, for faith that doesn't bend with fashion, for a connection that feels unfiltered, pure, ancient, and yet so alive. Listen to the stories, and you'll hear a common rhythm: I found peace in Islam, I found myself again, I found answers I never found before. And whether it's a former church member or someone who never believed in anything at all, the journey seems to lead to the same place, to the same quiet room, to the same prayer, whispered in Arabic but understood in every language of the heart. America, once thought of as the land of Christianity, is becoming something new, something diverse, something spiritually restless yet awakening. And the rise of mosques isn't just about religion, it's about identity, belonging, and the human need for truth in a world spinning too fast to catch its breath. But this shift isn't about competition, it's not a battle of faiths, it's a story of transformation, of people finding light where they thought there was only shadow, of a country rediscovering spirituality in unexpected places, of young people asking not, "What's my religion?" but, "What's real, what's right, what will bring me peace?" For every church that becomes a mosque, there's a story behind it, not of conquest, but of continuity, of buildings once filled with prayer finding purpose again, of spaces built to worship God still being used for the same reason, different names, different languages, but the same upward longing, the same tears, the same whispered amen, the same hope. And perhaps that's the most beautiful part, because in a world of division, this quiet shift reminds us that faith is not dying, it's evolving, it's moving where hearts are ready to receive it. It's teaching us that no wall, no misunderstanding, no fear, can stop the truth when people are searching sincerely. So next time you pass a building with a crescent where a cross used to be, don't see it as a symbol of loss, see it as a sign of life, of renewal, of faith reborn in a land that still believes in freedom, still believes in the search for God, in whatever form He chooses to guide us. Because maybe, just maybe, this silent shift isn't so silent after all. Maybe it's the beginning of something greater, something that connects rather than divides, something that reminds us all that faith, no matter its form, still lives, still breathes, still calls us home. And for many in America, that home is now found in the masjid, under the soft glow of golden light, where strangers become brothers, where hearts bow before the same Creator, where peace begins again, one prayer at a time. As the sun sets over the skyline, the city hums with the noise of everyday life, cars, footsteps, laughter, yet hidden beneath all that sound is another rhythm, the soft echo of change, the quiet steps of people finding faith in places they never expected, a quiet revolution unfolding not through politics or power, but through prayer. In cities like Chicago, old churches stand side by side with new mosques, their stained glass windows now lit with the soft glow of lanterns, their pews replaced by open floors where believers line up shoulder to shoulder, facing the same direction, united by the same purpose, whispering the same words that prophets once spoke under desert skies. You see, this isn't just about religion, it's about identity, about finding meaning in a world that seems to have lost it, about rediscovering God in a time when distraction has become the new deity, about people waking up from the illusion that material success can fill the emptiness in the soul. And that's why Islam, in its quiet dignity, in its unchanging discipline, in its balance of heart and mind, speaks to so many now, in America, in Europe, in every place where people are asking, is there something more? It's not conversion through force, not persuasion through fear, it's transformation through truth, through the power of example, through the sight of a Muslim family praying in peace, through a conversation that changes a heart, through the sound of the adhan drifting through the air and stirring something ancient in the soul. In the heart of Los Angeles, an old church now serves as a masjid, its wooden beams still standing strong, as if they were built to hold both the past and the future, as if they were always meant to echo with the sound of worship, no matter the language. Inside, you'll find faces from every background: African American, Latino, white, Arab, Asian, all standing side by side, all equal, all united in a single purpose, and it's in those moments that you understand, this shift isn't about replacing one religion with another, it's about reviving what faith was always meant to be, a connection between the human heart and its creator. In rural towns and big cities, the story repeats, churches that stood empty for years now filled again, alive again, not because people abandoned their roots, but because they followed their hearts, because they found in Islam not just a belief, but a way of life, a rhythm of prayer and patience that steadies the chaos of modern living. And this is what most people don't see, this quiet, organic rebirth of faith in America, not driven by politics, not by propaganda, but by sincerity, by searching, by the simple truth that when people are tired of confusion, they seek clarity, and clarity leads to Islam. But this story isn't finished, because the future of faith in America will not be written by fear, or headlines, or division, it will be written by understanding, by compassion, by those who look beyond labels and ask, what unites us? And maybe that's the message at the heart of this shift, not that Islam is taking over, but that it's reminding the world what faith was always meant to be, submission to truth, to peace, to something greater than ourselves. So the next time you see a cross replaced by a crescent, don't see it as a threat, see it as a conversation, one building, one prayer, one person at a time. America is rediscovering faith, not through loud revolutions, but through silent transformation, through hearts that turn toward God in humility and hope. And maybe, just maybe, that's what this country has needed all along, not the end of faith, but its renewal, not the silence of empty churches, but the sound of new beginnings, the sound of unity, the sound of truth being remembered. Because when faith returns to a nation, it doesn't destroy it, it heals it, it anchors it, it brings people together under one light, and in that light, America might just find its soul again.